Good day to our respected lecturer, Puan Najihah Ahmad Zamberi, and fellow classmates. We are presenting for our THT 5, which is for subject CEL2105, Spoken Communication for the Workplace. The topic that we will be focusing on today is negotiation. My name is Kae Sen, matrix number J46472, and presenting with me today are Bonaventure, Sylvester, Hafizi, Amelia, and Bilma. We'll start by defining what negotiation is. Then we move on to the when and why do we negotiate. So what exactly is negotiation? It is to think of it as an argument, but it is much more strategic than that. Negotiation is a strategic process of communication, not just a conversation. The ultimate goal is to reach an agreement between two or more parties who have some shared interests, but also some opposing interests. It's not about arguing to win. It is about communication value and solving problems together to find a common ground. It can be something as simple as asking your boss for a day off, or as complex as discussing the merging of two entire companies together. We always negotiate constantly. This brings us to the question, when and why do we negotiate? The when is simple. We negotiate anytime that we are interdependent. This means we need each other to get something done, but we want different things. And the why is powerful. The main goal is to find a solution that works for everyone involved. By doing this, we can achieve our goals, build better relationships, and most importantly, avoid unnecessary conflict. You actually negotiate all the time, even today. So you negotiate when you are deciding where to eat with friends, and then the classic negotiation that all the students do is asking the lecturer for an extension on deadline. In the workplace, it is crucial. For example, you might negotiate for asking your boss for a better and new computer or a better equipment. Secondly, your team might need to negotiate to decide on a project deadline and who does which task on the project. So now that we know what it is and why do we do it, Mr. Sylvester will walk us through the 4 core purposes of negotiation.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Sylvester Michael, matric number J46488, and thank you for being here today. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Kae Sen for the excellent explanation earlier. Now, I will continue with slide number 4, 5, and 6, focusing on the purposes of negotiation. To make it simple, every negotiation generally has 4 main purposes. Purpose number 1, to share or divide a limited resource. This is what we call the fixed pie situation. There is a limited amount of something and both sides need to decide how to divide it. Examples include negotiating your salary, splitting a team bonus, and dividing a budget between 2 departments. The focus is on how much each party gets. And purpose number 2, to create something new, which is expanding the pie. This purpose is about creating new value together. Both parties collaborate to build something that did not exist before. For examples, two departments working on a new project, developing a new marketing strategy with a client, or designing an improved workflow system. Here, negotiations becomes a tool for innovation and cooperation. Purpose number 3 is to resolve a problem. The goal is to solve an issue, manage conflict, or fix a mistake. For examples, handling an angry customer complaint and mediating disagreements between team members. Negotiations here is used as a problem-solving mechanism. Purpose number 4 is to build a relationship. Sometimes the main purpose is not the deal itself, but to build trust for the long term. For examples, regular check-ins between managers and new staffs, and client meetings focused on strengthening partnership. A strong relationship makes future negotiations easier and faster. And that concludes my explanation for slide 4, 5, and 6. Thank you all for your attention. And now I would like to pass the presentation to Amy, who will continue with the next slide. And over to you, Amy. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amelia Cynthia Bosi, and my number mentioned is J46466. So today, I will be presenting slides number 7, 8, and 9 on the 3 main types of negotiation and how they work in real situations. Understanding this type is important because negotiation happens every day, at work, at home, and even in simple daily decision-making. The first type is distributive negotiation, also known as a win-lose situation. In this type, each party focuses on getting the biggest share of something limited, like dividing a cake. If one person gets more, the other automatically gets less. Some key characteristics include information is guarded, you keep your limits, weaknesses or maximum offers secret. Focus is on positions, people state what they want, not why they want it. Short-term mindset, the goal is to win this one deal, not to build a relationship. However, a warning, if you always use this style, especially with your teammates, you might win the argument but lose trust and future cooperation. The second and most preferred type is integrative negotiation, also known as a win-win approach. This is where both parties try to find a solution that benefits everyone. The key features include information is shared, people openly talk about their needs and priorities. Focus is on interests, not positions. You ask why to understand the real reason behind your request. Long-term mindset, the goal is to strengthen relationships and create fair outcomes. For example, an employee asks for a 5,000 ringgit raise. The company cannot give that amount. When they ask why the employee wants it, they discover the true interest, better work-life balance. So instead, the company offers a 3,000 ringgit raise plus a 4-day work week. Here, both sides win. The third type is lose-lose negotiation, where everyone ends up worse off. This happens when both sides become too focused on winning or punishing the other party. This situation often appears when negotiators refuse to compromise. Emotion takes over rational decision-making. Both sides walk away. and are forced to accept a BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement, that is worse than the negotiated solution. For example, two project managers cannot agree on who should pay for a software license. Because of the delay, the deadline passes, and neither of them gets the tool for the entire year. So both lose. Thank you. That's all from me. We'll pass the next presenter, Mr. Bona.
Hello, good evening. My name is Bonaventure Boyou, metric number J46473, and I'll be sharing slide number 10 and 11. Example in the workplace, negotiating examples in the workplace. Okay. Who is involved in the workplace negotiation? Workplace negotiation usually involves two parties who need to reach an agreement, and these parties can be number one, manager and employee. Negotiating workload, deadlines, performance expectation, or leave. Number two, it's between two co-workers. Negotiating how to divide tasks, share equipment, or coordinate schedules. For number three, it's between team leader and team member. Negotiating responsibilities, project priorities, or support needed to complete work. Number four, it's between company and client. Negotiating service terms, project scope, pricings, or deadlines. Now, number five, it's between company and supplier. Negotiating supply contracts, product quality, timelines, or costs. And number six, it's between HR manager and employee. It's about negotiating salary, benefits, work arrangement, or workplace issues. Okay, why do they negotiate? In the workplace, people negotiate many different issues. This negotiation can lead to win-win outcomes, which is both sides benefits, or win-lose outcomes, which is one side gains more. For example, your starting salary is a it's a win-lose situation. Negotiating pay during hiring, usually one side gets better deal than the other. Project deadlines, it's a win-win situation. Employee and manager agree on a realistic timeline that benefits the project and reduce stress. What tasks on a team? It's a win-win situation. Team members negotiate responsibility so that work is divided fairly and efficiently. Resolving a customer problem is a win-win situation. Finding a solution that satisfies the customer while protecting the company's interests. Asking to work from home, so win-win situation. Employee gains flexibility. Employee benefits from maintained productivity and morale. And lastly, the price on a client contract. It can be both. The situations can be both. Depending on the negotiation style, it can be win-win, which is mutual value, or win-lose, or one side gets better price. Okay, move on to the next slide. When do we negotiate?
We negotiate when there is a disagreement about task, a decision, or expectation. Two or more people when different things and must find a middle ground. A problem need to be solved, deadline workload, resources conflicts. An agreement is required to work can be continued, a change is needed, such as adjusting schedule, duty, or salary. Resources are limited, and people must decide how to share them. A decision affects more than one party, so everyone needs to discuss and agree. Why do we negotiate? We negotiate in order to solve problems and reduce conflict, reach an agreement that everyone can accept, make fair decision about who gets what, who does what, improve working relationship through communication and understanding, ensure both sides benefits win-win outcomes, clarify expectation and avoid future misunderstanding, protect interests such as time, workload, money, and or rights. Well, at work, this could be asking your boss for a new computer or better equipment. Your team decided on project deadline or who does which task. Okay, that's all for me. Until we move to the next slide. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Hafizi, and my metric number is J46515. All right, for my part, I will present from slide 12 until slide 14. All right, let's go to slide 12, preparation and the 5 stage. All right, as the slide says, preparation is just a step. It is your superpower. It's where to negotiate. It's almost always won or lost, even before you sit down to talk. Think of this way. Failing to prepare is prepare to fail. So why do we dedicate so much energy to this? The key benefits are listed here. You feel more confident. You won't be surprised by unexpected demands. You will be absolutely clear on what you need, and critically, you will know exactly when you need to walk away. Preparation guarantee a much better result. Alright. These are the lists that why you should prepare. First, you will feel more confident. You won't be surprised by their requests. You will be clear on what you need. You will know when to walk away, and you will get much better result. All right, go to the next slide. Step 1, know your BETNA. BETNA is best alternative to a negotiate agreement, or simply put, like your plan B. Understanding your BETNA is the most important concept because it represents your power. It is what you will do if the negotiation fails and you will walk away with no deal. A strong BETNA gives you confidence. It means you are not desperate to close this deal because you have a viable, satisfactory, and path forward regardless. All right, let's look some example. Okay, scenario 1, negotiating salary. If the offer is too low, your BETNA might be a concrete job offer you already have from another company. This is a powerful backup. And scenario 2 is negotiating a project deadline. If the client insists on an unrealistic date, your BETNA could be to reduce the project scope, meaning you do less work to meet the original deadline. It's an alternative to failing, the deadline entirely. And the third scenario is buying a new laptop. If the price too high, your partner is simply to keep using your current laptop for another 6 months, and it's not the perfect outcome, but it's a perfectly acceptable plan B. All right, move on to the next slide. Okay, preparation step 2, know your points. Okay, now you have your walkaway plan. We move to the preparation step 2, know your point. This is where you define your desire, outcome, and your limits. We need to identify 3 critical points: your goal, your interest, and your reservation point. First, your goal or your target point. This is your ideal, perfect outcome. If you are negotiating a raise, your goal might be, I want 5,000 ringgit raise. Set this high, you won't get, you don't ask for. And the second is your interest. This is why behind your goal, why you want this raise. Your interest is underlying need, much as my real need is to cover my new higher rent and feel respected for my extra work. Focusing on interest, not position, is often the key to finding creative solution. And the third is, for me, is most critical, your reservation point. This is your secret walkaway limit. It is the absolute minimum you will accept before you choose your partner instead. In your race example, your secret reservation point might be, I will force to look for a new job if I get less than a 2,000 ringgit raise. This number should never be revealed. If the negotiation drop below this point, you stand up, walk away, and execute your bet now. All right, by knowing these 3 points, you enter the negotiation with clear vision, ambition, and rock-solid safety limit. Okay, for the next slide, I will give to Mrs. Bilma. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Hafizi. Hello everyone, I am Bilma Ismail, matrix number J46493. Now let's move on the actual negotiation process. As we can see on slides number 15, it shows the 5 main stages of negotiation. The stage guide us from the moment we start preparing until the agreement is finalized. The first stage is preparation. This is where we do our homework. We identify our goals, our partner, and the limits we must keep in mind. The second stage is opening. Here we begin the conversation, build rapport, and usually make the first offer to set the tone. Next is exploration. This is the why stage. We ask questions, listen carefully, and try to understand the other party's interests and constraints. The fourth stage is bargaining. This is where the give and take happens. We make offers, receive counter offers, and trade concessions to reach a mutually acceptable point. Finally, we have closing. In this stage, we summarize what both sides have agreed on, confirm all the details, and make sure everything is clear before finalizing the ideal. So overall, these 5 stages help us move through negotiation in an organized, effective way. Okay, let's move to the next slide. This slide highlights that body language and tone can strongly influence the outcome of the negotiation. First, let's look at the do's. We should maintain steady eye contact to show confidence. We also keep an open posture, no crossed arms to appear approachable. Next, leaning in slightly shows that we are listening and engaged in the conversation. We can also nod to signal understanding and, of course, keep our voice calm and steady. And using hand gestures can help us explain our points more clearly. Now moving to the don'ts. We should avoid crossing our arms because it makes us look defensive. We also try not to tap our feet or fidget since that can show nervousness. Looking at the floor may give the impression that we are unsure or weak. Raising our voice can seem aggressive, and pointing fingers can look like we are blaming someone. And finally, we must avoid interrupting. Letting the other person finish shows respect. So, overall, the way we speak and the way we carry ourselves can support our message and make the negotiation more effective. And with that, we have covered the negotiation process, the importance of body language and tone, and the key points we need to prepare before entering any negotiation. That's all. We conclude our presentation on negotiation. Thank you for your attention.